Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello my friends, how are you today? I hope you are good. We are from the group 7. Let me introduce our member. I am Putri Rizky Wijayanti and my friend Dita Setya Putri and Radika Dzulfa Agustin. We will discuss about genre literature. Let's check this out. What the meaning about genre? Genre means a type of art, literature, or music characterized by a specific form, content, and style. How about the genre of literature? A literature genre is a category of literary composition. Genre might be determined by literary technique, tone, content, or even the case of function like. The distinction between genre and categories are flexible and loosely defined, often with subgroups. A genre, a theme of absorption for variety, is the division of a particular art, form, or speech by appropriate criteria for that form. In all kinds of art, the genre is a categorization without clear boundaries. Genres are formed through convention, and many works cross different genres by borrowing and joining the convention. The scope of the word genre is usually limited to terms in art and culture. The type of genre: imaginative literature, non-imaginative literary. Imaginative literature. Imagination comes from an absurd word that means delusional. So, imaginative literature is the actual work of literature. Non-imaginative literary is a work of literature written without the use of the fanciful nature of authors. So, the story in non-imaginative literary works are stories written beside on true or true stories. Some literary scholars argue that non-imaginative literature is not a literary work. There are 5 kinds of genre in literature, which include: there are 3 kinds of imaginative literature. Number 1, drama. Number 2, poetry. Number 3, prose. Number 4, function. Number 5, non-function.
And the next slide is drama. Drama is a literary work written in language in the form of dialogue. The difference between drama with poetry and prose lies in purpose of script writing. Drama scripts are written the main purpose of being performed, not to be read and lived as in prose or poetry. The genre has further categories such as comedy, tragedy, and tragicomedy. William Shakespeare is known as the father of English drama. He is well known play include Taming of the Shrew, Romeo and Juliet, and Hamlet. Okay, next slide. Poetry. Poetry is literary work of human thought and feeling that the dialogue is bound by rhythm, matra, rhyme, lyrical arrangement, and tempo, and is full of meaning. Poetry focuses on sound, shape, and meaning. A good work of poetry is profound in meaning, expressed by conversing all the elements of language. It is further subdivided into different genres, such as epic poem, narrative, romantic, dramatic, and lyric. dramatic poetry include melodrama, tragedy, and comedy, while other poems include ode, sonnet, elegy, ballad, song, and epic. Next is prose. Prose is very easy. It is not limited by the number of lines, the number of syllables on each line, and is not only rhythm and rhyme as in poetry. Prose is further categorized into essays, speeches, sermons, and interpretations. Next, fiction. Fiction has three categories that are realistic, non-realistic, and semi-fiction. Usually, fiction work is not real and therefore, authors can use complex figurative language to touch reader imagination. Unlike poetry, it is more structured, follow proper grammatical pattern and correct mechanics. A fictional work might incorporate fantastical and imagery ideas from everyday life. It comprises some important elements such as plot, exposition, foreshadowing, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. And then, non-fiction. Non-fiction is a vast category that also has subgenres. It could be creative like a personal essay, or factual like a scientific paper. It may also use figurative language, however, not unlike poetry or fiction has. Sometimes, non-fiction may tell a story, like an autobiography, or sometimes it may convey information to readers. Other examples of non-fiction include biographies, diaries, memoirs, journals, fantasies, mysteries, and
Prose divide into two. The first, the old prose. The old prose is a literary work that has not been influenced by Western literature or culture. Old prose literary works that first appeared were conveyed orally to the unknown form of writing. The example, saga, history, stories, and fairy tales. The new prose. The new prose is a process composition that arises after being influenced by Western literature or culture. The example, novel, short story, and notebook. The example of prose. Novella. A novella or short novel is a work that narrative prose fiction longer than short story but shorter than novel. So, novel is a new form of prose that describes some of the mind life which is most important, most interesting, and which contain conflict. Short stories are a new form of prose that tell a small part of the life of the most important and most interesting actor. Function of genre. Different genre have a different role. For the example, number 1, fiction and dramatic genre. It can help students and writers learn and improve their communication skills. Number 2, a poetic genre can enhance imaginative and emotional power of the readers. Number 3, non-fictional genre. In a text that essay can help the reader develop analytical and persuasive capabilities. Function of genre. This allows the reader to discern whether or not the event being written about in a piece are factual or imaginative. Genre also discussing the purpose of the piece and the way in which it to be delivered. In the other plays are meant to be performed and speech are meant to be delivered orally, whereas novel and memoirs are meant to be read. Conclusion. Genre literature is a category of literary composition. Genre may be determined by literary technique, tone, content, or even as in the case of fiction like. Genre have two types of genre, that is imaginative literature and non-imaginative literary. And there are 5 kinds of drama of genre, that is drama, poetry, prose, fiction, and non-fiction. And for prose, it divides into two, that is old prose and new prose. And so the example of prose is a novel, novella, and short stories. So in the function of genre has different rules, and also it has two viewpoints, either for the writer and for the reader, or for the stylist. Which for reader, it's implicit message that to readers so they can explain their imagination through the literature, and for the which reader can open their mind and add more knowledge through a literary work. So that's all for the group 7. Hope you enjoyed this video and see you next time.